So we're going to start this morning's practice on our backs, and have a hand towel or something nearby just in case your hamstrings feel tight. Okay, here we go. On your back, soles of the feet come together. Knees drop apart. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Just connect to your breath. Feel the spreading of your lower back on the ground. And feel the anchor of your feet pressing together so you can begin to stretch your inner thighs. Feel your upper shoulder blades just kind of broaden across the ground. And just check in with your throat to make sure you're not jutting your chin forward. You're just finding a nice neutral spine. And just feel the strength of your breath this morning. Sometimes you come in, we're a little racier, sometimes it's a little slower, whatever it is. Just allow your body, your mind, your breath, everything just to settle here. And then you start to kick up the Ujjayi breathing. So we'll encourage you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, avoiding the mouth breath. Blink your eyes open, take your left palm and just press it to the inside of your left thigh. Just give it like a little energy here. So your left arm is straight and you're just encouraging the thigh to drop a little further towards the ground. Go ahead and reach down and grab the outer blade of your right foot and take a half happy baby. So you're gonna just draw your right knee towards the outside of your right ribs. And that's why I suggested a hand towel. So if grabbing the foot does not feel great, you can always just go like this with a hand towel or a strap around the base of the foot. Flex your right foot really strong and breathe. Same action that you just had when you would be in a happy baby or in just basic laying on your back. Broaden across the tailbone, feel the shoulder blades press into the mat, draw the belly in subtly, and just hold here. So just opening the hip in a subtle way. Now, keeping your hand on the outer part of your right foot or hooking your big toe right here, try that, or giving a little bit more energy to the strap. And then very slowly, you're going to start to straighten your leg at whatever level it's going to go straight today. So it's just kind of on an angle. The leg has not shifted to the right at all. So if you are not able to grab the base of your foot or your big toe, just reach for the back of your calf and hold like this. So some action of just releasing the hamstring. Let the right shoulder draw down the back. Take a few more breaths. Lengthen. So nothing has shifted, nothing has moved. You just start to straighten the leg. And if it doesn't go pin straight, that's fine. Breathe into the whole back side of your right thigh. Keep the leg lifted like this, okay? Bring your arms straight forward and bring them to a prayer. So you're kind of doing a Pilates roll up. Now, I'd encourage you to flex your left foot really strong and keep externally rotating that leg as you flex your right foot really strong and feel your lower back spread wide across the mat. Now, as you pull yourself up into like this Pilates roll up, this funky core thing, make sure you're not pulling from your neck. You're just lifting as much as your lower belly could support you. Lift a little higher. And then lower down, rebend the leg back in the happy baby, and then place the foot back down to Supta Baddha. So just come back. Take your right hand, rest it here, move the strap if you use it to the other side. Encourage the thigh to drop and then reach down and grab the outer blade of your left foot. Just remind yourself that no two sides of the body are equal. So this side could feel a little different. Be okay with that. So just start basic and know you can always back up and not do everything. Allow the breath to kind of calm you this morning, if that's possible. Anything's possible. Good. Keep pulling towards the outer blade of your foot and encouraging the knee to kind of wrap to the outside of the rib. Good. Grab the big toe or somewhere on your leg and very slowly start to straighten the leg out. Now, as you straighten the leg out, you don't want to just jam up into the hamstrings. You're just straightening as much as you can. If holding the big toe doesn't work out for you today on that angle, reach for your shin. This is fine. Keep encouraging the drop of your right thigh open. Hold. Feel your lower back pressing down. So less is more. You back out if it's too much. Stay with it. Lower belly spreads wide, belly drops down towards the back of the spine. Keep the lift of the leg and then start to reach your arms forward for this cool Pilates roll up. So the leg stays lifted and you're on the blade of your right foot as your right thigh drops open. So anchor your lower back, keep the lift of the left leg and pull yourself up. Now, when you pull yourself up, lift the shoulder blades, keep the neck long, reach forward a little more. Good. Rebend the leg, half happy baby. Take the foot back to the floor, stoop to Batakanasana. Take the feet flat down to the ground, just like you're going to do a little bridge. Actually, go ahead and do that. Anchor the arms like robot arms. Lengthen the tailbone. Press to the backs of the arms. Feel the feet press down and lift the thighs up. Tailbone lengthens. Lift a little higher. Keep the neck nice and neutral. So it's a little bridge early here in the practice. Exhale the breath, lower the tailbone, hug the knees towards the chest, rock and roll with momentum this morning. Get some momentum like you're a kid at the gym and come up nice and slow, step to a downward facing dog. Spread your palms wide and just feel. Yeah, first down dog. And sometimes you get to your first down dog and you feel you're like 200 years old. That's okay. Good. Take up a lot of space on your mat this morning. So your hands are most likely the width of the mat with the index fingers facing forward. And your feet are most likely hips width distance. And you can bend behind your knees as much as you need this morning to make this workout for you. You're really focusing on the lift of your hips up off your shoulders. Spread the whole hand, both hands firm down, thumb, index finger, baby finger. Move the shoulders away from one another and feel your outer triceps begin to activate and wrap in. And in time, as your body starts to warm up and come to the space, maybe the heels start to melt a little closer, but you're not forcing. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. That's the hardest part. Then roll forward to plank. Stack your body nicely. So from down dog to your first plank, sometimes you have to reset a little, walk it out a little bit. Feel your hands plugged down, thumb, index finger, baby finger, broaden across the upper shoulders. Fix your eyes. I like to look to the front edge of the mat. I find it's kind of like the sweet spot. Activate your thighs. And if this is too aggressive this morning, just drop your knees. Encourage the weight to come forward onto your tippy toes. Squeeze into the center line. So when you squeeze in, you're squeezing in towards the belly button. The outer hips hug in, the outer thighs, the sides of your calves, all the way down to your ankles. Keep moving that weight forward. Almost feel like you're leading with your chest. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward plank. Yeah. Stack your body nicely here. Bend your elbows in half for a chaturanga. If you need to drop your knees this morning, that's totally fine. Draw your belly in, contract your thighs. Pull yourself through a nice smooth up dog or baby cobra. If your lower back is sensitive, you may want to avoid this right now. Lead with your chest. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So I really encourage you to slow things down this morning. Most of us are flying around. Roll forward plank one more time. Nice slow push up, lower halfway, chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need. Pull yourself through a nice smooth up dog. Feel what you're doing. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning. 1, 2. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Listen, if the hands don't quite make it, hands can rest on your shins or use your blocks. Let your shoulders move down your back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Try that again. Long spine on the inhale. Create some length. Keep the weight forward into the balls of your feet. That looks good, Reg. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Move your energy this morning. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Just stand for a second. So some very basic sun A's to get us going. Stretch the arms straight up towards the sky. Dive over bent knees. Let your weight pull you forward and your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. You can step to plank to start. Lower halfway to a chaturanga. Pull yourself through a nice Easy up dog. Take it slow. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Good. Look where you want to go. You can just step to the top of the mat this morning. Long spine when you arrive. Fold over yourself. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Anchor. Feel your feet. Yes. Drag your hands to prayer and just stand at the top of the mat. Keep going. Arms reach up. Look up. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step to plank. You can float if you feel like you want to just go for it this morning, or more deliberate, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, drag yourself through, point your toes. From your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So getting our cobwebs out. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. You don't have to jump ever if you don't want. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms reach up nice and big. Dive over bent knees. Let your weight carry you forward. Come to the fingertips. Let the shoulders slide down the back. Step or float through your vinyasa. Everyone's vinyasas are different. So some of us just move through. Some of us just go to a down dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top is where we're going. Long spine. Fold again. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Arms reach up. Anchor. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips. Long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. Just warming ourselves up nicely here. Up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Yeah. Take your right foot lifted up, point the toes just a little bit. So your right foot's hovering the mat. Your right knee is going to drive towards the outer right tricep, and it may not go all the way over, just a little bit, keeping the hip points squared. So your right knee towards your right outer tricep. Your right leg floats back. It hovers the ground ideally. Your right knee comes towards the inside of your left arm. So it's kind of crossing over the center line of your body. Less is more. Keep the tailbone long. And ideally, we're staying in plank. Right leg back to a three-legged plank. Point the toes. Draw the right knee in. Hug in tight. Keep looking forward. Land your right foot forward and through. You can use your hands to get your foot up there. So you're just stepping into this low lunge. Come to your fingertips. Make sure your stance is wide enough in width. Yeah, grip your right hip in. Feel the weight in your right heel. Reach your arms back like a set of airplane wings. You can always drop your back knee down here if this is too intense or too much. Everyone's got a different level of energy. Yeah. Activate your back leg. Grip your hips in. Scissor your inner thighs. And then bring yourself, your torso up, straight up, arms reach, crescent lunge. Yeah. You can always bend your back knee a little bit if you need to. Yeah. That may help you find your hip points moving forward. You want to make sure your right knee tracks over your right ankle always. And the side of your body lift. Your eyes lift you up a little bit without dropping your neck back. Good. Breathe. Just feel your body holding this position. Feel your feet pressing down. Feel your waist lifting you up. Energize your fingertips towards the sky. Hands come to frame your front foot. So very slow here. Plant your palms. Hug your right knee back in how you started. So you're in plank with your knee in. And very slowly start to extend your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. The goal is to keep your hips squared, so don't open your hips. Yes. Keep the lift of your right thigh. Don't let it drop, and hug your left hip in. Everything stays very even. Start to walk your hands back very slow. So we're coming into a standing split. My standing split is not like what you envision a dancer standing split. So my pelvis just stays neutral. My right leg is lifted only the height of my hip, and my left leg has a little bend behind it. And I begin to creep back, and I see if I can line my fingertips up with my left toes, so 15 digits line up. Then the goal is to soften the shoulders down the back and drape my belly, my torso over the front of the thigh without letting the right leg drop. So keep that right leg active and engaged. Let the head go. If you want more, we're holding a few more breaths. If you want more, not everyone needs more, bend at your right knee crease like you're going to kick yourself in your butt. Keep your right hand down. Reach with your left hand and take a little bind. This is not for everybody. You can just stay as you were, or you can add the bind. You can also just be halfway with your heel kicking in towards your butt. Keep draping your torso down. If you took the bind, release the hands. Good. Release the foot, straighten the leg, everybody. So now you're back where you started. Plant the palms and start to walk back out to a three-legged down dog. Don't let the leg drop. Three-legged down dog. Look forward with your eyes. Step your right foot all the way forward. Yeah. Turn your back foot strong. Warrior one, bring it up. Yeah. Back foot is on a strong angle. It's almost completely pivoted towards the front edge of your mat. Yeah, your right foot is firm. Your hip is hugging you in. Your hip points are forward. There's movement of your ribs towards the front edge. Breathe. Hands come down. Vinyasa or right to a dog if you're not feeling it. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, roll forward to plank. Lift your left foot just an inch. Yep. So you're in plank with your left foot hovering. Left knee towards left tricep. Pause. Okay. Someone's calling my house line. I don't know who that could be. Extend your left leg back. Let the foot hover the mat. Keep looking forward with your eyes. Take your left knee to the inside of your right arm. So just go a little bit. If it's too much, keep your body in plank, ideally. Left leg back, three-legged plank, point the toes. One more time. Hug the knee in, squeeze it tight, keep looking forward. Arms are straight up and down. Land your left foot forward, get it all the way forward and through. Take a second, set up your feet for this low lunge. Wide enough, long enough. Feel the weight in the standing left heel. Good, reach your arms back and hover. Grip your hips in. Activate your back leg. A little bit of an up dog in the chest. Get yourself together here, and then sweep your arms straight up and straight up towards the sky, crescent lunge. When you get to your crescent lunge, if you feel like you're jamming into your lower back, we want to avoid that this morning. Soften the right knee, move your hip points forward, or just go ahead and drop the back leg. No one cares. And then find your sweet spot that you know you can hold for a few breaths. Start to feel your body moving into the pose, more importantly, your mind, your breath. Anchor, scissor the inner thighs. Two more. So slow transition, we'll do it together so everyone stays with us here. Hands come down to plant them to the ground like plank. Hug the knee in towards the navel. Start to slide the left leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. Do it slow. Feel your right hip gripping in. Feel your back leg strong and your out arms hugging in as well. Keep your gaze looking back. Start to walk your hands back. Start to slide them all the way back into the standing split. Line your fingertips up with your right toes. Soften the shoulders and let your head just drape. This could be where you stay. This is fine. This is great. Breathe into your inner thighs. If you want more, bend at your knee crease. You can pause here. This is a good spot to stop. If you want more, your right hand's going to reach. You're going to grab your ankle into this funky little bind. Keep the left hand down, but don't open the hip. Keep the hip squared. Let the head go. If you took the funky bind, just release your hands, release the leg, everybody. So you're back where we started in the standing split with the leg straight back. Palms go flat, firm them down and start to walk yourself back out to a three-legged down dog. Take your time doing it. Then look forward with your eyes and slide your left foot all the way forward and through. You never thought that would feel so good. Turn your back foot strong, grip your hip in, anchor, and come up warrior one. Steer the right side of your body forward. Take a second to just kind of find your way. You got to wiggle into it sometimes. Outer blade of your right foot has to press. Sometimes the first few breaths in the pose for me is like running up a hill, right? You got to kind of just wiggle in. Good, hands come down, frame out your front foot. Vinyasa, no vinyasa, think about a vinyasa. Do something just to move your energy. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top is where we're going. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Yeah, weight in your heels. Chair can be taken with your feet separated, hips width distance as well. So if something's going on in your lower back, explore. Little curve in your spine, arms are as straight as you can get them, and just look up with your eyes. Press all the way up to a standing position, drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. 3 sun Bs together, arms stretch up. Sit into chair, drop your seat nice and low. Your shins automatically move back. Exhale, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float at this point through chaturanga. Your up dog is a back bend, so it should feel good for you. Legs are strong, hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, you move with a discipline. Right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one. It's controlled. Nice, Jody. Hands come down, vinyasa or not. Lead with your chest for the up dog if you're taking it. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot forward, back foot's on a strong angle, and then rise, warrior one. Bring it back down to the floor, vinyasa or not. So for me personally, I could fly through these, but I'm not gaining anything from it. I'm just moving quickly. So what I've learned the past year is slowing it down, especially in the beginning, very effective. Anchor through your hands, look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine, right here, forward fold, sit into a chair, weight moves into your heels, stick your butt back, yeah. Press to a standing position, drag it to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide straight up, sit again into chair. Each time maybe getting a little lower if possible. Exhale, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare yourself. Step or float through your vinyasa. Make it work for you. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. So now you're moving kind of at your own pace, and we're all gonna be a little different, to be expected. Hands come down through a vinyasa or not. Sometimes I find myself just stepping back to down dog, and I'm getting what I need. Left foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. Bring it back down to the floor when you are ready, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then you're patient here, just breathe. Making space for the next thing. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair. Move the weight into your heels, building some momentum and some heat. Press all the way up to a standing position. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Just one more. Let's keep it basic. Arms reach up. Sit again into chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine on the inhale, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing, bold. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one. We're moving and grooving. Looks good, Tracy. Bring it back down to the floor, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go when you are ready. And I will wait for you. We will all meet in a downward facing dog and get ourselves together. Maybe just feel subtle differences in your body, a little bit more open, a little bit more grounded. Maybe you feel no change. That's okay too. So look forward in between your hands. And from here, I just want you to step your right foot smack in between your hands, just like this. Yeah. Turn your back foot strong. So you're lined up in the center of your mat. That's the easiest way to transition here. Your right foot is forward, your back foot's on a strong angle. Grab the front of your right shin and come up into a triangle right from here. If you need a block or you need to come up and kind of tighten up the stance, that's fine too. But the idea is that your arms are straight and your legs are straight. Although, keep in mind that the front right leg is never pinned straight. I have a little micro bend behind it. Grab somewhere on the front of your leg or block to the outside of your calf. Extend your left arm up and look up. Feel your feet, feel your inner and outer thighs. There's a spreading of your toes, a lift of your side body. We're staying out of our low back though. So there's a sensation that you're leaning back, but by all means, this is not a back bend. So you shouldn't have back pain. You should never have back pain in any of these poses. Let the two shoulders just slide up and down like side plank arms. Stay with it. If you find yourself getting complacent in the pose, see how you can change it subtly, either through your breath, through your focus, or maybe what I like to say is lighten your load with your bottom hand. Maybe just lighten it and do a little less and feel a little bit more. See how you can play with subtle things. There's a lift of your side body and a subtle spinning of your bottom ribs. A few more breaths. A lot of power moving through the whole body here. Yes. Anchor through your feet and legs. Use the strength of your upper body. Pull yourself up to stand. So now your arms and your legs are straight. My entire torso is facing towards you. You may need to open up your stance a little. You're going to bend deep into your front thigh. Find warrior two now. So for some of us going from triangle to warrior two, you may need to adjust your stance just in length. Right. Side body is side facing towards you, so it's long, and upper body is strong. Yeah. Fix your eyes. I like my thumbs up and my palms towards you, but there's no wrong. You can have your palms straight up. You can have them down. Anything that works for you. Keep turning up the inner part of your right thigh. Close your eyes. 5 breaths. The space that we create happens here when we don't want to create the space, when our bodies and minds are fighting each other. Lengthen and sit deeper. Feel your outer left blade of your foot press. Turn up your breath. Blink your eyes open. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body you pick today. Rest your arm on the top of the thigh for a modified version, or slide the whole hand down to the ground or to the floor. Block is definitely useful. Place at any level that works for you for a variation. Wrap your left arm forward if you're looking for a little more. If your arm is popping in front of your face, your shoulder's obviously a little tight. So the bicep should turn and the baby finger should face towards the ground. That's the direction of your arm, like an arrow. If you're just resting your arm on the top of the thigh, that's completely fine. It would look like this. Soften the shoulder and really just be light. Same direction with your body. Rolling of the right thigh open, gripping of the right hip underneath you, and a turning of your bottom ribs as you look up. A few more breaths. Enjoy the sensation of working hard in these very simple but effective poses. It's pretty amazing. Soften where you can soften, even your expression. So if you've got an angry yoga face, make a happy yoga face. Drive the feet more. Anchor through that top arm. 2 more. Look to the floor. Circle both hands down You're gonna slide back to plank, okay? Move slow here, plank. Drop to your forearms for forearm plank. Yep. Lean onto your right arm for forearm side plank. Now you play with the splay of your arm. Some of us can have the palm facing directly forward. Some of us need to turn on an angle. If something's going on and you prefer to drop your knee or do a regular side plank Vashisthasana, give it a go. Lift from the bottom hip. Stack the left arm straight up and then look up. If you want more, the arm can slide forward like it just did, but make sure you're not collapsing. So I'd rather you stay more upright. Bottom hip is not spinning open. Flex the feet strong. The hips are squared towards you. More breath. If the arm wrapped forward, slide it straight up. The transition is slow. Look down. Forearm plank. Pivot the right arm forward and the left arm forward. So now you're on your forearms and your elbows are directly underneath you. Your belly is strong. Keep looking forward. Right palm flat, left palm flat. Plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, look directly in between your hands. Step your left foot smack in between your hands. You're going to use the center line of your mat to line you up today. Turn the back foot strong. Your heel to heel or heel to arch. Grab somewhere in the front of your shin and peel open to a triangle pose from here. Looks very good. Remind yourself that there's a little bend behind your front leg. This is a lot of obliques. Yeah. And if you can see your body in the camera in your little box, you want to see that your side bodies are long. And it's almost like my arms aren't doing anything. Yeah. I should be able to lift my arms. Use the strength of the back leg. The feeling that I'm leaning back a little bit. Right. Open up your collarbone, look up. Stay with it. When you find yourself drifting off, because we all do, this is a moving meditation, you're never going to fully be here. The goal is to be. But when you find yourself drifting off, just come back. Come back to something simple. Inner thighs strong, legs firm, breath moving. Really anchor through your legs. Use the strength of your entire body. Pull yourself up, straight arms and straight legs. Good. Keep the torso nice and upright. Now start to bend into the front leg. So the left leg starts to bend, and you may need to wiggle your foot a little forward, widen your stance, warrior two. Settle in here, bunch of breaths. The upper body starting to kind of piss you off, just drop your arms, take a breath in, and add them back in. Lengthen the tailbone, turn up the inner thigh, and once you find your spot you know you can hold, we're gonna hold there for a few more breaths. Run a lot of energy through your entire body, but really feel your back arm working as much as your front arm. Drive the feet into the mat. Lengthen the tailbone a little more. You're almost there. If your eyes close, blink them open, come back to us. Look forward, not either rest your arm on the top of the thigh or reach down and go for the block somewhere to the outside of the foot. Top arm could just reach straight up, depending on you, or you can wrap the arm forward. Your hand can also be on your hip. This is a great way to open the shoulder, and it's more subtle and less intense. Find something that works. Right leg super strong, right arm really strong. Yes, left knee is connecting to the inside of the left arm. Yeah, kind of like we did with that plank when we were trying to make that connection early. Turn your bottom left ribs from left to right towards the sky. And as you do that, grip your left hip strong underneath you. Stay with your breath right here. Stay connected to you and the feeling that you're creating. 3 more. Look down with your eyes. Circle both hands to the floor. Pivot the right heel. Step to a plank. Step back to a plank. And then from your plank position, Drop to your forearms nice and slow. If you need to drop your knees, that's fine. Lean onto your left arm, turn the arm any angle that works for you and your shoulder. Drop the bottom knee or just take a traditional side plank if you prefer. Stack the right arm up or wrap the arm forward. Just make sure your hips don't turn open. They're squared off to the long edge of your mat. Flex your feet strong. It's going to help. And then breathe. Maybe even smile. Not so bad. Stay with it. If you wrapped your right arm forward, reach it straight up. Look down with your eyes. The transition is almost its own posture. Forearms down. Square them off towards the front of the mat. Good. So you're in a forearm plank. So left palm goes flat to the ground and the arm straightens, and then the right arm, you're in plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. You're doing great. From your down dog, look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Hands to your hips as you come up. Standing position, stand nice and tall. Good. So you're going to stand at the top of the mat. You don't need to move. I'm just turning so you can follow along. Left leg strong, right leg's going to bend up into a tree. Tree pose. Yep. Now, if your foot doesn't get to the inner part of your thigh, it can be down by the calf. And then we can work from there. So we're going to work from this position. Hands can come to prayer for a moment. So this is essentially the same shape we just created in Warrior 2. Grip the hips in. Grow the branches of your trees for a few breaths if you like. If your balance feels a little crappy, your hands can just be in prayer. You can even lean against a wall. Draw the lower belly in, look up a little with your eyes. And when we balance, expect to flow. Nothing's perfect. We're a work in progress. We're going to move together and it's going to be slow so we can all stay together. Hands come to your hips. Keep the shape of your legs. Just bring your hands to your hips. Good. So you're going to reach down and you're going to grab somewhere on your right shin. I'm going to go for my right big toe. So it's going to look like this. But the shape of my hips have not moved at all. So I'm just grabbing the big toe. Listen, if you can't grab the big toe, you're just going to come to the knee like this. So your right leg is out on a very little angle. It's not all the way out and it's not forward. You're somewhere in the middle. If you're able to kick the leg out on an angle, give it a go today. Keep gripping the hips in and keep your hand on your left hip. So the leg is not all the way out to the right and it is not forward. It is somewhere in the middle. It is just like tree, but the leg is out. If this is not working for you today, just keep a bend and keep the leg on an angle and grab the front of the shin, just like this. Let the shoulder draw down the back, stand up tall. 3 more. Grip the hips underneath you. Swing the leg forward. And if you need to bend the knee to do that, that's fine. Change the grip. So take your hand to the outside of your foot and the right arm, my right arm is going to reach back. If your balance isn't working for you today, bend at your knee crease and just take this with a bent half leg twist. So it's Dancing Shiva. This is the modified variation. I will show you here. If you are grabbing the outside of your foot, you're extending the leg forward, just giving you options. The standing leg is straight. The leg that's moving forward can have as much bend as you need, but your spine is long and you're not leaning back. You're upright. Look forward with your eyes. Keep the right leg lifted. The leg can be straight, the arms are up, or the leg can be bent. You pick. Keep lifting from your core. Keep lifting your arms up. Now lower the right foot down and sit into chair. Sit deep into chair. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. Hook the elbow and turn towards the right. So you're going towards the right. Get in there and check out the knees, the shins, the feet. Make sure they're all lined up nicely. Let the spine stay long. Look up with your eyes. Good. Stay with it. More breath. Keep digging those heels into the ground. Nice and strong. Pull around to chair. Strong chair. This is where you're on mute and you're probably cursing at me. Shoot up to stand, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Drop your arms, let it go. So whatever happened, happened. And we're just gonna try it on the other side. And if you hate it, you'll never do it again. If you love it, you'll try it again. Stand on your right leg, bend your left leg up into tree. Tree pose, hands to prayer. So when you come to a tree, even if the foot is low or even down on the ground, think of warrior two. Yeah. So your hips are squared and they're gonna stay this way. Grow the branches first. Any level, your arms can be out, they can be up, they can be straight up. You could be leaning against a wall. But fix your eyes, find your breath, and catch the feeling of your body. Good. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Start with this. Just bring your hands to your hips. That's all you need to do to start. Keep your right hand on your hip. Slide your left hand down somewhere on your shin, your calf, the foot. If you can grab the big toe, that's great. It's going to look like this. So you're just grabbing the big toe. This may be where you stay. You may slide your hand underneath your left knee as well, or you can play with extending the leg out in an angle. The leg goes out in an angle, not out to the side and not forward. It's somewhere in the middle. Grip the hips in. Keep your hand on your hip, or you can extend your arm out or up, whatever you prefer. Stand tall. Lengthen the tailbone, draw the belly in, and make sure your whole body isn't moving forward. Wherever you are with the leg that's moving out at an angle, start to move it towards center. If the leg is straight, that's great. Keep that. If the leg is bent, that's fine. Switch the grip. Grabbing the outer blade of your foot and then reaching your arm back. It's up to you. Dancing Shiva is the name of the pose. The leg can just be bent in half. Yeah, I think I'm going to be here. And reach the left arm back. Spine is long, so you're not leaning back into your lower back. Keep the lift of the leg. Start to bring your torso forward and your arms up. My leg is just bent in half. The leg can be straight out forward too. Draw the lower belly in. Keep reaching up with your arms strong. Anchor the legs and then bring the left foot down. Sit deep, chair. Drag the hands to prayer. Pray for yourself. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take it to the left. 2 knees lying up. Yeah. Lower back is sensitive. Separate your feet a little. Cut yourself some slack. Spine is long. If you look up with your eyes, you may actually want to twist a little deeper, a little further. Stay with it. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Pull yourself up to chair. Shoot up to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, stand tall. Good. Separate your feet, hips width distance. My blocks are all over the place, but put them at the top of the mat right now. If you only have one, put in the center. Stand up tall in mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Focus on your right leg. It's going to stay strong. Hands on your hips. And just like a pendulum moving with your hands on your hips, start to slide your left leg back into a warrior three. The hands are going to stay on your hips right here into a warrior three. Hips don't open yet. Look forward a little and really focus on your standing right foot, steering it forward and the hip gripping in. Keeping the hands on the hips for a moment. Look down. Right hand's going to come directly underneath the shoulder or a little off to the right. Start to open up into half moon. Your left hand is already on your hip. Most of you are probably going to want to feel like you're going to fall out from getting in this way. It's okay. You come back as many times as you need. Open the left arm up. Half moon. We're just working into it a different way. Traditional half moon today. Nothing fancy needs to happen unless you feel that you need the Chopasana. Your arms are nice and open and wide, and your eyes can just look up. Maybe get a little lighter in your bottom hand. Grip your right hip strong. Side body long. That kind of rhymed. Beautiful job, everybody. Look down with your eyes. Sometimes we know when it's time to get out. We actually fall. Both hands come to the ground. You're going to square your hips. Like we did before in Warrior 3, keep the lift of your left leg. Don't let it drop. Yeah, don't let it drop. Stay with this. Left hand directly underneath the shoulder. Right hand now coming to the flat part of the back as we prep for revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Good. So the hand can just stay on the flat part of your back. Very strong back inner left thigh. Don't let it drop. So like we did in that standing split-ish type thing before, right arm can extend up if you want more. So that is optional. Look to the right, maybe look up. If you want to play with pointing your left toes, that may give you a little something else to play with today. Play with that. Twist open. Grip your right hip underneath you strong. You got this. One more big breath in. Look down. Right hand comes to the floor or the blocks. Giant step back to the back of the mat. Hands come down. Back knee drops and toes curl. Sweep your arms up. Supported lunge. Check in and make sure your right knee and ankle are set up properly. Your back knee is on an angle. I like the toes curled. I feel a little bit more in the back leg this morning. Hands are going to come to a prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow. Take it to the right. Good. There's a sensation that you're leaning back so the crown of the head lines up with your back left heel. This could be where you stay today. I'll show you a couple different options. If you feel that you need to go with the back knee lifted, it would be like this, okay? Lean back, activate your back leg, and take your more traditional twist. If you'd like to try something different, the knee can stay down, the left elbow can stay hooking to the outside of your right thigh, your right arm can reach back. This is a nice alternative. I feel my upper torso getting a lot of length and space. I'm still creating a strong twist. Good. Hold 5 more breaths. See how you're all doing. You got it. These look great. And then catch yourself, because sometimes you stop breathing in the pose. I'm like, you're going to survive. Yeah, some of you engage the back leg and are reaching back with your back arm. 2 more. Good work. Look down, take both hands to the ground. Just step to a plank. Move through a vinyasa. We kind of need it to move our energy. Pull yourself through a great up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. One more time today. Long spine. This is it. Exhale, fold. Hands on your hips. Pull yourself up to stand. So separate your feet, hips width distance. Have your blocks at the top of the mat. Start with your hands on your hips. It's almost like you're just moving the weight into the left leg. Yeah, and keeping your hips squared, begin to pivot forward into a Warrior 3. The nature of our bodies, we want to open up. Immediately want to open up. Keep your hands on your hips and just tip forward. Soften behind your left knee. Now, move your eyes forward. Keep gripping your left hip in. Reach down with your left hand. I like to move it a little to the left. And then from here, start to open into your half moon. Hand may just stay on your hip as you really steer your left foot forward, or you might extend your right arm up. If you feel the need to go for the bind, you're welcome to do so, always. Side body long. Integrate more breath and a feeling that you're leaning back a little bit here. Flex your top foot. Keep that left foot forward a little bit longer. Broaden across the collarbone. Transition slow, look down, right hand comes to the floor. Use 1 or 2 blocks, square the hips. Ground the right hand directly underneath the right shoulder. Keep the lift of your inner right thigh and slide your hand to the flat part of your back as we move into revolved Ardha. Now we're going from open, we went from closed hips to open hips, back to closed hips. So everything is neutral to the ground. If you like, you can extend your left arm up. You should feel a lot through your left hip, right? You don't want to just judge your hip out. You want to grip it strong underneath you. And then lift from your inner right thigh. Perfect. And then give it a little bit more breath as you twist. Good. Look down. Both hands come to the ground or the blocks. Giant step back into your low lunge. Drop your back knee. Everyone to start. Keep the toes curled. Bring your torso up. It's a supported lunge. Good place to be. Hands come to prayer. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow. Take it to the left. Solid spot right here. If you feel that you want to engage your back knee and lift it up, lift it and engage the leg from the ground. If you'd like to keep the knee down, this is cool. You can also just reach the left arm back. You can do it with the back knee lifted as well. So it would look like this. The feeling that you want is you're really opening up your chest and you're really feeling like you can get more space through your throat, through your collarbone. And you can lean back a little bit. The crown of the head lines up with your back foot. Scissor the inner thigh, stay with it. Two more. Final big breath in. Look down, unravel yourself, take the palms down, step to a plank. Good. Plank position, drop to your forearms one more time today. Forearm plank. 10 breaths in forearm plank. If you're not into forearm plank today, walk your feet up and take dolphin. But the biggest thing with dolphin and forearm plank is that your arms need to be in a little closer underneath your shoulders. If you want to go to a wall and experiment with some sort of inversion today, that is great. Good. Forearm plank can also be taken with your knees down. I'm showing lots of options. You can draw your belly in, still create the sensation of the broadening across the upper shoulders. If you're going into a dolphin, tighten it up. Yeah. If you're in a forearm plank, lead with your chest so you can broaden and take the round out. You're halfway there, wherever you are. Nice. Good choice, Kristen. Good. If you went up or did anything fancy, take a breath or two in a child's pose. Everyone else press up onto their palms for a plank position. Hips up and back, we'll meet downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, before we get onto our backs, if you feel that you need to roll forward, clear it out with Vinyasa, of course, do that one more time here. And then slide your right knee forward, take a half pigeon on the right side. So before I get you to your back, we'll just kind of release our hips and then we'll get onto our backs and finish up. As we hinge forward into this half pigeon, keep your left thigh down on the ground. Set yourself up so you can really get into your right hip. You can also go onto your back for ankle to knee. So not too long here, just breathe. So as your thoughts start to come and go, kind of push them away. I call it the half pigeon yoga trance. Try and stay in it. Just press through a down dog and switch sides. Left knee forward. If you're on your back, you just flip around, you lay down and you switch. And then just checking in with you guys, and then I'll be quiet so you can just breathe. Make sure your right thigh is down and you're not rolling all the weight into the left side so you're even. Good. Use the strength of your body. Start to come up. Lean onto your left side. Swing your right leg around. Before you lay down on your backs, make a butterfly shape with your legs. Now, they could either be a little closer in and just really work on grabbing your ankles and sitting up right nice and tall. So if your lower back's an issue, this is a good option. If you like more of like the kind of bendy, mellow, fold forward, walk your feet out a little forward, more forward, and then hinge forward and see my forehead will never touch my feet in this pose, and I'm fine with that. So just the action of doing that and breathe. So you can just sit upright. Your hands could even be behind you to encourage a little bit more of a back bend and just openness of the chest. Just a few more breaths. And then pull yourself up, take your feet directly down like you're going to bridge, bring your arms out in front of you, and very slowly start to roll yourself down onto your back. As you hit the floor, walk the feet in a little closer. So we were in this baby back bend early on. So let's revisit it one more time, and then we'll go to a full wheel or something else. Lift the tailbone, robe out the arms if this works good for you, or interlace the hands, or go for the more mushy version, which is the block underneath the low back. Supported bridge. So we're doing 2 back bends here. The first one's definitely more chill, and the second one you can work a little deeper, or they can both be really chill. Yeah, and then play with the splay of the block. So the lowest setting is going to be the less aggressive, medium, and then highest is going to get you in a little more. Really nice. Exhale your breath, come down. If you're on a block, you can actually just stay. If you know you're going to kind of go to the next thing, come down for a second and then reset. If you're on a block, maybe take the block up a little higher. If you're going deeper, flip the palms, bring the chin to the chest. On your exhale breath, start to move yourself up. If you're on a block, you can extend one leg and then the other leg and kind of create legs up the wall. So it's hard for me to tell, but interlace your hands, Reg, around the block if you can. And then kind of scoop out your shoulders a little and see if you can get the back bend there. Nice, Jody. Steer your feet, your thighs forward. This looks great. Good. If you went for full wheel, tuck your chin, come out with control. If your legs are just up or you're doing another variation, bend the knees, take the feet flat to the ground. Once they get flat, then you can remove the block from underneath you and then slowly lower the tailbone down. Hug the knees and finish in a happy baby, a full one, the full deal. And just feel your body in this happy baby. Broaden across the upper shoulder blades. And then if you like, in this happy baby, hook the big toes. And then straighten the legs. So you're in this wide straddle. Yeah. Lengthen the tailbone, broaden the shoulders. So your lower back should kind of be working its way towards the ground. And one more time before we go to Shavasana, let go of your big toes, reach your arms forward and pull yourself up. Fire up your legs, flex your feet, and draw the shoulder blades up off the floor as you pull up and hold. Not from your neck, from your core. Use the strength of your legs. Hug the knees to the chest. Find your way to rest. If you need a little supine twist to kind of clear that, you can. If not, just set up here. Complete restoration. All the work is done. You guys did a great job today. A little bit of a different flow for you. Complete rest. So a lot of awareness here as you move. Take a deep breath in through your nose, feel. Exhale out through your mouth, let it all go. Bring your arms up over the top of the head, a giant stretch from fingertips to toes. And then bring your knees towards your chest and squeeze tight, like wrap your arms around the front of your knees, shins area, like a ball. And then use that energy to rock yourself up to sit. If you just prefer to stay down, that's fine too. As you sit up into this final moment of this kind of cool meditation we just did, keep your eyes shut for a second. Feel the effects of that on your body, your mind, your breath, your spirit. It's pretty cool. Hands to prayer. Bow your head. Grateful always for being able to move. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. As always, pleasure being with you guys. Good practice. See you soon.